War and Peace Report, I'm Amy Goodman. A federal appeals court has ruled President Bush can order the indefinite jailing of civilians imprisoned in the United States. The 5-4 decision effectively reverses last year's ruling that the administration cannot label U.S. residents enemy combatants and jail them indefinitely without charge. The ruling came in the case of the only person still held as an enemy combatant on U.S. soil. Ali Almari was arrested 6 years ago at his home in Peoria, Illinois, where he lived with his wife and 5 children. He was initially charged with credit card fraud and lying to federal agents. But in June 2003, President Bush declared him an enemy combatant and ordered him into military custody. He spent the last 4 years in solitary confinement at a Navy brig in Charleston, South Carolina. Almari attorney Jonathan Hafetz said, quote, "This decision means the president can pick up any person in the country, citizen or legal resident, and lock him up for years without the most basic safeguard in the Constitution, the right to a criminal trial." Attorneys for the Canadian
about the concept that it can't happen here. This is fresh material. Some of you know that in New England, there are dozens of communities who passed impeachment resolutions. The evidence for impeachment, high crimes and misdemeanors, is so overwhelming that it's almost as if the Democrats are saying, Bush and Cheney are so impeachable, we can't impeach them. At least 5 distinct counts of high crimes and misdemeanors, including a war of aggression, torture, arrests without charges, imprisonment. They use the word detainee. Illegal surveillance. That's a felony for a government to do that without judicial approval. It's a 5-year jail term under the FISA Act. Now notice this. You've got towns in Vermont, Massachusetts, and 5 little towns, and not so little, West Hartford and Connecticut, who have passed resolutions demanding the impeachment of Bush and Cheney. In one cluster around Stockbridge in Massachusetts, there are 13 towns in one congressional district where 2/3 majority called for the impeachment of Bush and Cheney in 2007. All this was presented to the congressman, a Democrat, Congressman John Olver. He's a PhD from MIT in science. He was born in 1936, so has a scope of history. Here's what the reaction was. Made fully aware of the overwhelming majority of his constituency resolved for impeachment, Congressman Olver vehemently refused. Rather, he expressed his opinion that the current autocratic executive in the White House would attack Iran from the air, declare a national emergency, institute martial law, and call off the 2008 elections where the Democrats initiated impeachment. Now, I don't remember Congressman Olver being seen as a particular off-the-wall maverick. But if that's the kind of thinking that is circulating on Capitol Hill, things are a lot worse than we thought. Because if this is accurate, it's a lot worse than we thought. And if it isn't accurate, they're a lot more paranoid than we thought. Either way, they're not a proper opposition party.